Hello, my soul friends, and welcome to your tarot reading. My name is Emery, and today I'm going to help you figure out what is your perfect career. So this reading is perfect if you're looking for a new job or you want to modify your current job to more mimic the best type of career for you. So all you need to do to hear this psychic message from the universe is pick one of these three piles. And to help you do that, I have different images on each of the piles. Whichever calls your intuition the most, that is your pile and your tarot reading. So let's look at these up close. The first pile is the hamster pile, pile 1. The second pile is the rooster pile. And the third pile is the ram pile. So whichever called your intuition, you are going to want to go into the description or comments of this video and click on that timestamp. You can also scroll on the time bar to the section of the video if that's easier. And if you need more time to pick, you can pause this video and meditate on your options. But once you're ready, go ahead and pick your pile and we're going to get started. Hello, pile 1, my hamster pile. Welcome to your tarot reading. We're going to go ahead and get started by looking at your 3 oracle cards. The first card is the solitude card. This is a sign from the universe that your best career is going to be a career where either you work by yourself, such as self-employment, or if you do work in an office environment, that you have your own office, or that you are permitted to work by yourself without intervention by other coworkers or bosses. And that's because you need to be able to focus. You need to be able to have deep thinking. And this could also be a sign that management may not be for you. So for some of you who are interested in starting your own business, you need to be aware that some of the more admin side of things that a business needs, that's not going to be something that you can do or something that you can base most of your day around. You are going to need significant time for deep work. So if you do have any admin task, or if you are going to be working with coworkers or anything like that, you want to make sure that at least about 4 hours of your day is to yourself, and you really only have maybe 1 to 3 hours at the absolute most, and that is pushing the limit where you are working with other people. So this card is more about deep work rather than never talking to someone at work again. And for some of you, you may find it really helpful to go to networking events and those sort of things, but on a day-to-day basis, you need to be working on focus work. And that work is best done by yourself. Now, there may be one exception to this, and this is if you work from home and you have clients that you're working with, or you have family members or a close friend who is someone that lives with you, or someone who is really close with you, so you really understand each other, but you really don't want to be dealing with strangers interfering with your work, strangers who don't understand what you're doing. So focus work mainly by yourself. That is your perfect career. Now your second card, your second oracle card, is security. This card does indicate that you need either a traditional job or a job with good prospects. Now, this particular card for me is also an art card, and because of your third oracle card openness that we'll get to in a moment, this doesn't mean that you can't have a dream career, but it does mean that you need to put that career into context of something that is financially secure. So let's use an example so that way you understand what I mean. Let's say that you want to be an artist, but you're not certain how you're going to be able to be an artist who makes money. There are a few options here. There's graphic design, there is creating stock images, there's also doing commissions, or something like that, to where you are definitely getting paid work and you aren't just working off of inspiration. So when it comes to security and when it comes to creativity, because I do sense some sort of creativity or personal expression in your career, you want to make sure that you have some sort of customer, someone who is in demand of your skills, and you're not just creating a product or a piece of art into the void, because if you do that, you aren't going to be able to financially support yourself. And one of the reasons why financial support is important is because it's going to help you to feel secure when you're working by yourself, when you're working long stretches of time of focused work, because you're going to know that at the end of the day, your bills are paid. Now, your third oracle card is openness. Openness is one of the big 5 traits. It's normally associated with creativity, and here I definitely see that. Openness for you is some sort of creativity, personal expression, or being open to new things. Now, for some of you, you may not be creating per se. This card could be, for example, a nonfiction writer or a journalist, someone who is experiencing novel things, doing different things every day. And it is technically creative, but it doesn't seem traditionally creative. But definitely openness to experience, doing new things. I also think for some of you, this could be a sign that you are a digital nomad. So overall, it definitely seems like your perfect career is one where you work by yourself, one where you have financial security, and one where you are able to express yourself. Now let's go ahead and get into your tarot cards to get some more details about your perfect career. Your first card is the Two of Pentacles. This is a card of balancing. It's also a good sign that you are going to be able to make money from something you like, but you're probably going to have to gradually go into that career if you're not already in it. So for those of you who aren't in this solitude career of personal expression, you're probably going to have a day job and work on whatever your creative expression is on the weekend or on the evenings until you're able to make that your primary career. And with that security card from earlier, you're not really going to feel secure and safe to pursue this perfect career until you know you can afford it. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to fully express yourself and embrace your creativity until you know your bills are paid. But I do think you're going to be able to do that. So just work step by step, year by year, until you are financially independent from the normal day-to-day job. So your next card is the High Priestess. Now, I actually see this as a possibility for some of you and not for others, but this is an indication that for some of you, you actually have some sort of spiritual career or you're relying on your intuition. So for some of you, probably half of you, it could be a sign that you are a life coach, a psychic, a spiritual coach, doing something related to magic, anything like that, law of attraction. That is a possibility. It could also be a sign, not specifically like psychic or magic related, such as life coaching. It's not really the spiritual side of life coaching, but you are somebody's high priestess. You are somebody who guides them in life using their intuition. So this wouldn't be, for example, a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. This would be someone who is a life coach. You're not looking to help somebody on a mental health issue, but on a general life issue or holistically. Now, the other half of this card, it could be a sign of intuition, such as creativity, and that starts to work with the next card. So the next card, King of Wands, is some in this pile really embracing creativity and passion. So it could be a sign of traditional careers and creativity like art, music. Just be aware with the Solitude card that you are going to want a career where you are spending most of the time by yourself. So I think a really good example of this would be if you're a musician, as an example. You wouldn't be a touring musician. So because touring is how most musicians make their money, you would have to figure out how to make money in other ways. I know that some musicians make money selling jingles to commercials or licensing their songs to television such. That's a possibility. This King of Wands could also be an indication that you have your own business. But remember, if you have your own business, and with creatives this is often the case, you don't want to have a business where you are managing a lot of people. So this card, the High Priestess and the King of Wands, I really get the sense that the leadership involved in these two cards is a solitary leadership and an inspirational leadership, rather than maintaining a huge business with a lot of employees. Now, some of you may have employees or contract workers, but you're not managing them on a day-to-day basis. You are letting them work by themselves, and they report to you when they're in trouble or when they need to clarify something. But you really do not want a career where you are spending most of the day managing other people. You want to work with people who know how to manage themselves. Now, your last card is the Ace of Swords. Now, this is a card of new ideas, starting a new business, starting a new venture. So this could be a sign for many in this pile that yes, you can probably modify your current career in some way to embrace all the traits that we talked about. But for many of you, you are going to need to start a new job. You're going to need to start a new career. You're going to need to make a transition. Now, for some of you, you are going to have a day job first and gradually move into that passion job, but there is definitely a sign that for many in this pile, you are going to have to make a switch. This card is also a sign when it comes to new ideas and new starts of some of you being writers or using your new ideas to really bring something novel into the world. So it's a pretty exciting pile one. I'm really excited for you. This definitely seems like a career that is a passion project. And as we know, passion projects sometimes take a little bit to manifest because you're going to want to be able to feel financially secure first. However, this is an amazing spread, and I really look forward to you embracing this perfect career for yourself. So pile one, let me know if this reading helped you at all, and if it did, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. You can also check the description of this video for links to my socials or a link to my Ko-Fi to tip if you really appreciated it. Anyway, pile one, be sure to let me know in the comments what kind of environment do you want for your perfect career? What would be most exciting, and how would you be able to really focus? All right, pile one, I hope to see you again. Hello, pile two, my rooster pile. Welcome to your reading. We are going to go ahead and get started to figure out what your perfect career is by looking at your oracle cards at the top. So your first card is a dramatic one, and it is Healing Chaos. This indicates that whatever your perfect career is, it's not going to be traditional, or if it is traditional, it's going to be very dramatic. There's going to be a lot of things happening. But even though it's going to really take over your life and it'll really feel like it's the center of your life, it's going to be very rewarding. It's going to be very healing. You are going to really identify with this career. So jobs that tend to have this quality, they can run the gamut of possibilities. It could be a professional career, such as a doctor, a lawyer. It could be a career like an artist. It could also be owning your own business. Some service workers also qualify, like teachers, psychologists, those sort of things. And your second card does indicate that this career makes a lot of money. So I'm definitely going to feel as if whatever this job is, you are going to live an upper middle class to wealthy lifestyle. And I think that makes sense because you are going to be so involved in this career that you are going to take on any and every opportunity that comes your way. You're probably going to have side projects. So what would this look like? Obviously, with a career like medicine or being a lawyer, you may not have in particular side projects just because you make so much money and you work so many hours, but it is a possibility. This would be such as a doctor having a YouTube account or being a comedian on the side, a very busy lifestyle. But let's take, for example, someone who doesn't traditionally make that much money. Let's say this is someone who is a teacher. This would be the kind of teacher who sells their lessons online to make extra money. And it's not just to make extra money. It is actually because they really love what they do. So every single aspect that they put into it, they're able to take that even further. So even though your career, whatever it's going to manifest as, you are really going to make it very abundant. You are really going to make it even more than what it is. And that's pretty exciting because other people are going to look at you and they're going to be like, how did you do that? How do you have all this time? Why don't you look as tired as you should be? And that is simply because despite this job being very chaotic, having a lot of things going on, it really does heal you. You enjoy all of that fast moving, energetic things that are happening. It just is really rewarding. Now, the third card is flexibility. And I think one of the reasons why there is this indication of side projects is that you aren't letting the career control you. You're not letting your bosses control you. You control you. You are able to make demands. So obviously a doctor may have their own practice. A business owner has their own business. But let's say that you are a therapist working for an office, or you're a teacher working for a school. You're probably thinking, how am I going to have flexibility to do that? There are some possibilities. You may not be working for the government. You may be working for a private practice. And that means that you are going to be able to really set your own terms. You're not going to be dependent on structures that were put in place before you. And that may seem scary, but the reason why you're going to be able to do this is because you're going to be very good at your job. And because you're very good at your job, you are going to be able to command a higher salary, higher payment, and better working conditions. Now, for some of you, especially if you own your own business or you are even self-employed, it is possible that some of you are going to be self-employed. You're going to work as a single person. You're not going to have employees. What this flexibility card indicates is that you are going to be able to start and stop whenever you want. You're going to be able to take long vacations. And with this whole work hard, play hard energy, that makes a lot of sense. So let's get into the details of your spread with your tarot cards, because these three cards are really indicating a general energy, a general lifestyle, and it's not getting into the narrow details of what possible careers would be perfect for you. So the first card, your first tarot card, is the Two of Swords. This is a card of indecision, but I don't really feel it's your indecision. I actually feel it is going to be people you deal with. So this would be a therapist dealing with clients. This would be a teacher dealing with students. This would be a doctor dealing with patients. I do feel as if your spread indicates that you are going to be working with the public in some way, or with individuals in some way. And because of that, even if you generally work by yourself, you are going to be reacting to somebody. So if somebody hires you to do something, you're going to be actively talking to them, you're going to be conversing with them. And for the introverts among you, that may seem really scary, but there are introverts who are teachers and doctors, and they do just fine. As long as you are able to turn yourself on for work, You can turn yourself off when you leave work, when you need rest. And this may be why some of you need flexibility, because you need to be able to take a break when your battery is completely low. Just because something is exhausting doesn't mean it's not worth it. Doesn't mean you don't enjoy it. But I do think with this spread, it does indicate that there's a lot going on and you are going to need to force yourself to take breaks. So if you have family, friends, or a significant other, you may want to ask them to tell you when it looks like you are at the edge and you're not stopping. So the next card is the Chariot card. This is a card of going full speed ahead. It could be a sign of movement. It could be a sign of always moving on. So with this card, I don't think you are going to stay in one place. I don't think you are going to stay in one position. You are constantly going to be striving for the better job, more opportunities. You're going to want to move to new locations. So this is definitely an indication that your job is one that exists wherever you want to go. So if you are a business owner, it needs to be a business that you can pack up and take with you anywhere in the world. So for example, if you're a mechanic, this doesn't really work with this spread, but if you are a writer, if you're an artist, you can move on. And I do think for many of you, the people that you're dealing with in your job, the clients, the customers, the students, are actually people that you deal with online. So for example, this spread could really indicate someone who went to school to be a teacher. They graduated, perhaps they worked in a traditional school for a few years, and then they moved on to create their own online academy or freelancing for students in other countries. But there is definitely a really ambitious energy in your spread where you take charge, where you are able to set your work conditions. You are in control. So your third card, this is the Queen of Swords. This is a card of communication. This is a card of really knowing what you want and pursuing it. And this is also a card of rationality. So what this means is that you are a cold-hearted business person. You do what is necessary to succeed, and you may not be that agreeable. And this can be a bit of a challenge for some people to get to this position. For some of you, you're not going to be this person right away, but this is really important if you are in the situation you're eventually going to be in, because you are going to be able to say no. You are going to be able to advocate for yourself. I do think, especially with your first tarot card, the Two of Swords, at times you are going to feel as if your customers, your clients, your students are the enemy, the people that you have the most conflict with. And that's because they are paying you, or you are dealing with them in such a case to where you are dealing with them directly. There's not an intermediary, right? So you're not working with a public school, you're not working with a hospital, you are working with them directly. You are working with them through your business. And because of that, you are going to need to be able to advocate for yourself. You are going to need to be not just the boss, but sort of like the police officer who is in charge of protecting the place of business. So don't be scared of the idea of having to protect yourself, protect your business, and saying no. You are going to learn how to do it over time. So I definitely feel like for many in this pile, you may not actually be making a huge change in your career. You are going to be transitioning into a freelance position, a self-employment situation, something to where you are decoupling from the traditional work environment, the traditional workplace, and creating your own. So whatever your current career is, or whatever current career you're on the trajectory to go towards, you are going to have a private expression of that. You are going to be in control. So be aware that that may take a few years, but you are going to really have ownership of your daily life. And this may be another reason why there's healing chaos, because you are responsible for your day-to-day life. There may be some years where you make a lot of money, and there may be some years where you don't make a lot of money. And that could actually be in alignment with the years that you take a break, where you go on vacation, where you work less hours, just because you would like to work less hours. You work hard and you play hard. Now, your last card in the spread today is the Nine of Pentacles. This is another indication of abundance. This is another indication of really enjoying your work, really having time for passions. And I do think that you have a job that really marks your identity, but it also is one where you are able to relax. So one thing I got an idea of right now is, let's say you're a lawyer and you have a great few years working traditional law, but you decide that you don't want to do client work in the same way. So maybe you start a podcast and that becomes your career. Something to where you use your expertise to create your own business. So it may take some time to brainstorm. It may take some time to have the authority to convince an audience or customer base to trust you outside of the traditional work environment, but you're definitely going to get there. So pile 2, what I want you to do is to really embrace the possibility of you creating your own path, even if you're starting from a very traditional work environment, because you have a really bright future ahead of you. It looks to be a future where you earn a lot of money and for where you can take really long vacations. So that's pretty exciting. Pile 2, if this reading helps you at all, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description of this video to see links to my socials or a link to my Ko-Fi to tip me if you really appreciated it. So pile 2, let me know in the comments, what is your current job and how it would be even cooler if you could work from home or if you could be your own boss. Is there any ideas you have, or do you need some suggestions for where to look? I would love to help you if I can, or another commenter may have an idea. So pile 2, I can't wait to see you again. Hello pile 3, my Ram pile. Welcome to your tarot reading. We are going to go ahead and get started to figure out what your perfect career is by looking at the top 3 cards, your oracle cards, to get a general idea. So your first card is Blessings. This indicates that your career is going to be a blessing on your personal life. It is going to grant you things that careers normally don't grant to people when it comes to living. So there are going to be some real benefits to your career that you can't find in other jobs. This is going to likely be work-life balance. It's going to be income. It's going to be flexibility. Whatever is most necessary for you to be happy in your personal life. So you are going to feel like your perfect career is something that can't be replicated or can't as easily be replicated. This could also be a sign that the job that you end up in is going to be one that you hold on to for dear life. You are not going to want to lose. You are going to be very adamant to stay in. It could be a position you stay in for the rest of your life. You may not even want to get a promotion because you are very happy where you are. Now, this perfect career may not be one that you have right now, but be prepared for in the future to find a position that you are so happy with that you don't want to change. Even if it has other benefits, it's not going to be your benefits, the benefits you desire. So make sure when it comes to whatever job you pick or whatever promotion or opportunity you accept or seek, it is going to benefit and bless your personal life. Don't just pick the best career or the most exciting career if it's going to be a major sacrifice elsewhere. Now, there is one exception, and this would be when you make a temporary sacrifice to make an investment in your future. So it's basically a stepping stone to where you want to be. So the next card is happiness. Your perfect career is going to be one that makes you happy. So it's not just a job that benefits your personal life, it's going to be a job you like. So I know, for example, a lot of single parents or parents who have children when they didn't expect will often take on a job that they hate, but they're happy to have because it makes their personal life better. This is not you. You need a job that you are going to personally enjoy. So I do think this could be a sign that one of the sacrifices you make is that you're not going to be super, super rich. You are going to be happy with a certain standard of living that meets all your needs, has a few small luxuries, but it helps you have the life that you want, helps you do what you want at your job, and it helps you really just enjoy things. So perhaps a good example would be a musician. Successful musicians often do a lot of touring in order to make a lot of money, but they may not like that. If they really value family or value the relationship, they may decide not to tour in order to spend more time with the people they care about. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in your spread, is that you are going to find your job a blessing, but it's not going to be a hindrance to your other personal qualities, but it has to be something you enjoy. Don't settle for a career you hate just because it makes your personal life easier. You need to have a balance, but you probably are going to sacrifice when it comes to money a bit. Now, because there is blessings and happiness in this spread, you're not going to be poor. You are going to at least be middle class or be comfortable for your situation. Now, your third card is love. Now, there are a few possibilities here. One is that your perfect career introduces you to relationship possibilities, introduces you to dating. Maybe there's a gender imbalance between your job, or there's some way that it helps you date that other jobs wouldn't. It could also be a sign that it takes you to a new place where you will find love. So if you are single, what you need to know is that your perfect career will help you find your true love. If you're in a relationship, what your career will do is it will give you time to spend with your loved one. So your job is not going to interfere with your love life. For some of you, this could be a sign that you work with your romantic partner, or it could be a sign that you have a business together. But there's something about your perfect career where you get to spend more time with the person that you love. And if you're single, you actually get to meet them because of your job. So definitely look for a career that seems like a blessing to you, that seems to make you happy, and gives you an opportunity to enjoy your love life. So this is definitely a career with either a heavy social element where you can meet other people if it is a very busy career, or it is a job where you don't work overtime and you are able to go on vacations, you're able to enjoy your weekend, one of those two, because you definitely need to have time to spend with your partner. So let's get into the details of your career. And the first one is the Eight of Pentacles. One thing I want you to know about your career is that you are actually going to work. This job isn't, it's not unemployment, it's not winning the lottery. It is going to be a job where you are actually doing work. But it is going to be work that you enjoy, and you are going to put the time and effort in order to really make that career successful. So the Eight of Pentacles in particular is definitely hard work. It's definitely deliberate work. And I think with you, this indicates that you are going to be okay with the day-to-day work of your career. You may not be specifically aiming for a promotion or the manifestation of something. You are just enjoying the process. So this could be really any sort of job, But what I want you to look for is what you enjoy doing. Do you enjoy the job itself? One thing you may want to do is take an inventory of your hobbies and your interests. And if you're not sure what that is, try something or try some element of something for about 21 hours and then ask yourself or write down how you felt about it. So if you are wondering if you would do well in a career with people, you may want to go talk to people in public for 21 hours and see if you enjoy that. If you want to figure out if you would enjoy doing something like art, you need to draw for 21 hours and then ask yourself, did you enjoy that? So it's definitely some introspection in order to figure out if you are going to like the day-to-day task in the career. Now, you're not looking for 21 perfect hours of enjoyment, but you're definitely going to want the majority of those hours to be something that you find positive and reaffirming. So the next tarot card is the Ten of Wands. This is a card of taking on responsibilities, and they are heavy responsibilities, but they are responsibilities you willingly take on. So this is one of the reasons why I don't think your perfect career is winning the lottery or being blessed with not working. It is really being blessed with a responsibility that you enjoy having. So I do think that your career is going to be something where you are responsible either to your family or to other people. So for example, teaching medicine. Now with medicine, you may think, well, I don't want to work 80 hours. It is possible, for example, to be a doctor and not work as many hours, but you are going to choose to not make as much. I know that my mother, who is a nurse, used to work with a doctor from France who, after she immigrated to the United States, she only took on about 30 to 40 hours of work a week. She made less, but she was happier with her work-life balance. That is something that you may be doing. You may be taking on a job that has a lot of responsibility, but you may not be working as many hours. So that is a possibility as well. So don't just push away a career possibility just because it's traditionally a lot of hours. Let's use another example. Let's say you want to go into law and you're thinking, well, that's a really involved career. You have to work 60 to 80 hours a week to make a partner. Maybe you aren't going to be a partner of a law business. Maybe you're going to have a small town business, or maybe you are just going to work in somebody else's business, but not try to raise to the top of that career ladder. That is perfectly fine. Remember, you are just enjoying the day-to-day parts of the career. You're not trying to manifest like this perfect ambition. You are just trying to enjoy your career, enjoy your personal life, and feel like you're making a difference. So your next card is the Six of Swords. This is a card of transition or of moving. This can be a sign that your perfect career is going to ask you to move to a new place. And remember earlier when I said that your career may give you new opportunities when it comes to dating? If you are single, this is a sign that you need to move to a better location. If you are in a rural area and you're not having luck dating, you may want to move to a bigger city. If you want to move to another country to work, this is a sign you need to move to that country. This could also be a transition of switching careers. Maybe you are in a job where you are so busy and you don't have time to date. So this could be a sign to lower the number of hours or go to a different place of work in order to really free up your personal life. But you are going to need to make a change. It may be a big change or it may be a change in location. Now the last card. This card is going to be the Five of Cups. This is a card of letting something go. You're not happy about letting it go, but you know it's for the best. And I do think you're going to have to make some sort of sacrifice in your career in order to facilitate the joy of your personal life. Now, already you can probably figure out what I mean. This could mean working less hours, it could mean changing your position, but it does indicate you need to sacrifice something. So what I'm going to want you to do after this reading is really brainstorm what it is you want for your life, your personal life, and then ask yourself, how is your career or your current trajectory for a career not in service of that? Are you going to work too many hours? Is it going to take you away from family and friends? Whatever it is, you're going to need to make a change. But pile 3, I do think you are set up to have a wonderful career. It's definitely a career of compromise because you are going to put more weight on your personal life than your career, but it is very, very important, and you need to hear me on this. You can't just pick a career that pays the bills. You need to pick a career that you enjoy the day-to-day task of. So that is going to mean that you're going to need to compromise perhaps on pay or perhaps on ambition. But that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing for you. I think at the end of the day, you are going to be blessed by your career. You are going to feel as if you're on the top of the world. So make sure you're not comparing other people's success to what you actually feel is worthwhile. So pile 3, if this reading helped you at all, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. You can also check the link in my socials, the link in my description for links to my socials and to my Ko-Fi if you would like to tip because you really appreciated the reading. Otherwise, I would like to know in the comments, what is a personal life goal you have other than your career, and how do you feel blocked? Perhaps I or another commenter will have a suggestion that may help you. So pile 3, I can't wait to see you again.